Good evening here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. I'm Joel McCall. We're visiting now with Bennett Laxton. He is the head coach of the Central Riverhawks girls golf team. They have actually had a very busy couple of weeks. It's surprising. You talk about football having one game thus far. Volleyball will be starting on Tuesday. However, the Riverhawk girls have been on the links quite a few times. So we have a lot to talk about. First of all, Coach Laxton, thank you so much for joining me. Do appreciate your time.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you. I know you get a lot of people for thanking you for doing this, but I'd like to extend my thank you as well as a guy who has a 2-year-old daughter who's in bed by 7 o'clock and a wife that works some long hours to have the opportunity to watch some sports, and you and Nami and Josh putting on everything that you guys are doing for us. It's a great opportunity for me as a teacher to watch my students play and obviously enjoy watching Central Sports.
Yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure. I certainly enjoyed the football game last Friday. We do have volleyball coming up on Tuesday. We'll get to all that a little bit later. How about 4 meets so far, Coach? 4 meets underneath your belt. Where did you go for these 4 meets? And then how did everybody do before we talk about your overall roster?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like you said, we started out quick and running here. So we started practice on the 7th. I had our first meet already on the 11th, that Friday. So we had kind of just a fun tune up with the MVC. We actually do a 2-lady scramble. So we matched 2 of our ladies together, and they played a scramble format. So they kind of they both hit from the same spot. I'm sure most people are familiar with it. And then they chased and found the best of the 2 balls until they were in. And so it's a really fun format, and we get all the teams from the MVC to play. And it's really great for the girls who are newer to the game, because we can match them up with kind of a veteran girl to kind of move around the course that way and kind of get a nice easy landing into tournament golf at the high school level. So that's good. And then we followed up that next week with an invite at Toma, which is 18 holes, which for some of our ladies is a lot of holes.
Right.
For those of you who aren't familiar, I guess we play most of our invites are 18 holes, but then our conference tournaments, we have 6 conference tournaments and then a conference championship. Those 6 conference tournaments held by each of the schools are all 9 holes. So
Okay.
yeah, so anyways, Toma, and then followed up by going to Trempolo for an invite there. And then last Thursday we had our first NBC meet at Onalaska, so at Cooley Golf Ball. So we had all of our ladies play there, and all 6 of the NBC teams, and got off to a real successful start. So we just have a lot of girls who are kind of newer to the game. We graduated 3 seniors last year, which on a golf team of just 5 ladies is
A lot.
that's a big percentage.
Yes,
So
it is.
we have 2 juniors this year and then 5 sophomores. So very, very young, growing. A lot of girls that are just pretty new to the game. But that's a great opportunity for us at the kind of different at the high school level, that we're still we still have the opportunity to introduce girls to this great game, girls that are brand new, maybe haven't even played it before. It's just an opportunity for girls to learn this great sport that I so much love and love to teach to anybody I can.
Well, how did you do it compared to the MVC then when you did play all of them on last week at Cooley?
Exactly. So yeah, really, really very competitive for a couple of our girls. We do so there's obviously varsity and JV for what everybody's used to. But since we have so many girls that are just really new to the sport, we have the majority of our girls playing that JV level. So we just have 2 girls playing varsity as of right now, and we're hoping to grow those other girls to be able to play at the varsity level. So our 2 girls that played varsity, Sienna Folkers is really leading our team this year. She had a 52 at Cooley Golf Bowl, which was good enough to get into the points race. So we have a points race for MVC standings for first team and second team. And I believe she took tied for 11th. Don't quote me on that, but somewhere in that there. So just really, really respectable there. Sienna is going to be a one that can really be competitive in the conference and hopefully get her name on that first team or second team all conference. So,
well, when you talk about, well, just run through the full roster then. First of all.
No, absolutely. So Sienna Folkers Jr., Cadence Franks, Frank is a junior as well. Then we have Elia Dale. She'll give me crap for that because I can never pronounce her name. Elia Dale is sophomore. Elena Wagner, another sophomore, and Elena Wagner is the other girl that was playing varsity for us so far. Has some really good game. Elena Wagner, we have Jameson Buxton. You might be familiar with that last name. And who else did I forget there? Don't tell me.
One more sophomore, I think.
One more sophomore. Elena.
Oh, no, wait. One more junior, I think.
No, I had the two juniors.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I only got 7 of them. I still can't remember. No, I'm just kidding. Who was the 7th one? Gosh.
We're going to come to it. I know you will. You'll get to it. Let me ask you this, though, while you're thinking about it. Or did you get it?
Nope.
Okay. What does... Now, I know with the low numbers, obviously, you're not really going to have a team. You're not going to have a team score. I mean, obviously, that's going to happen as far as the varsity level when you only have 2. But with your low numbers, does that mean that you're actually getting more one-on-one time in practice? Or are you able to actually watch each girl kind of and tweak their game? Because, I mean, there are so many little things that you can do on the golf course.
Oh, absolutely. And I have to also mention we do have an assistant coach this year, Jamie Hauschkins. She's a business teacher at Logan. So we're using her as well. She's very knowledgeable in the game, new this year. And yeah, for the two of us to be able to be one-on-one with those girls as far as working on all the little tweaks that you said, all the little short game things. And we talk about golf of being a game of consistency, right? It's like Tiger Woods is the best golfer in the world because his swing is the same exact every single time. So working on those fundamentals and getting that through every time is important. So, yes. And I do apologize. Emma Raisler is the other one that I just remembered. So I apologize, Emma. Too many things going on.
I knew you were going to get there. Where do you actually normally go for practice then? And what do you typically do? Like if you're just to go out tomorrow, what's practice like?
So we're very grateful to have the opportunity to go to Forest Hills and Walsh. So Walsh is a 9-hole course. That's kind of a shorter par 3 course. I think it's par 32. So that's a great opportunity for our girls to get a little bit kind of refine the short game and play the par 3s. And it's just a great opportunity. But we spend the majority of our time out at Forest. The people out there at Forest that have been great to us. They provide us with golf balls on the range, and they have obviously all 18 holes that they let us, whenever they're not busy, get out there as much as we can. But then they do have practice greens, and then the 19th hole that we often take advantage of. It's a short par 3. It's just an extra hole that they have out there that we often practice on. So very good.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, again, because you're probably not hitting as much. I mean, well, I'm sure you are. As far as the tee box, is it more of the short game? Is it more putting than it is hitting that driver?
Absolutely. And I think the girls are always pretty disappointed to say that. But yes, we spend the majority of our time on the short game because that's where we're going to make up those strokes. We talk often about the putting and the form of putting, but 2 putting instead of 3 putting. That's I think, in my opinion, the biggest advantage that we could have in golf if we limit those 3 putts and keep them to 2 putts or less. So we spend a lot of time on the putting green.
You have to talk about equipment too, because at one time I was the golf lead at Dick's Sporting Goods. There's a good shout out for them. That's a freebie for them. But I would have people come in that I know for a fact were just, scratch golfers. They're not that good. And yet they were buying the Pro V1s. Now, That's not what you should be hitting. So do you have to kind of talk to the kids about, this is the golf ball or this type of iron is what you should use? And obviously shot selection is a whole nother story. We'll talk about that in a second, but Is that another issue? Is the equipment?
Um, I mean, I wouldn't say it's an issue. We have a lot of great like resources as far as getting equipment. But as far as teaching the girls about that equipment, absolutely. It's, as I was talking about, we have so many girls that are just brand new to the game, and then girls like Sienna out there that have been playing and played for me when she was a sixth grader in middle school. So just kind of a wide variety of abilities and knowledge. So we try to fill in as much as we can there.
Again, we're talking with Bennett Laxton. He's the head coach for the Central Girls Golf Team, and they have a busy week coming up too. We're going to talk about that. I was going to ask about Sienna and what she hits as far as equipment. Then, what's her clubs?
She is all Callaway. She actually would be proud to say she just got brand new Callaway irons and is loving them. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I wondered about that. Well, you have a busy week. Talk about what's going on tomorrow. I think you're at Drugan's up in Holman. You also have Sparta on Wednesday, and boy, it's going to be hot.
Yeah, correct. And glad that you bring that up. We actually have been going through the emails today. We've had a little some altercations to those. So tomorrow we're just going to simply move it up to 8 o'clock tee time instead of 9 o'clock, because we're going to try to get in as many holes we can before that heat index gets up there. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to Drugan's Castle Mound, the course where I grew up and played every day in the summer, being from Holman. So we're excited to go there and play 18 holes at the Viking Invite. And then Wednesday, we're playing the Jenny O Invite, which is the Sparta's Invite, and they have actually knocked that down to just 9 holes, starting at 8 a.m. as well, just trying to get in as much as we can so the girls aren't getting too hot out there.
Yeah, you're supposed to also have, I'm sure you're going to practice on Thursday. That's probably going to be moved up as well, because I think we're still supposed to be well into the hundreds on Thursday. Those hot days. You like the nice weather, though. I mean, you've probably not had too many cancellations when it comes to practice either.
No, yeah, absolutely. We've been extremely lucky this year, and that's always kind of a up in the air with the game of golf, is that we have so many days where it's raining or whatever. So heat is a new one. We haven't had that for as many years as I've been here, as cancellations due to heat. So always something.
You have a lot coming out with the MVC. You mentioned the MVC conference tournament. Is that at the end of the year? And then take me through the postseason as well. What can these girls accomplish within the year?
Correct. So yeah, and especially once school starts here, we'll finish those last 5, or I guess have our last 5 regular, I would call them regular season MVC meets. So each school hosts their own. And then at the end of those, we play an 18 holes MVC conference championship, and that's at Viroqua.
Okay.
And so that's a neutral site at Viroqua, where we will crown our conference champions and our first team and second team all conference. And then followed by that, I believe, and don't quote me on the date, I think it's like October 5th is our regionals, and we go to Toma for regionals. And again, that's 18 holes. And then the way that works this year is that the top 3 teams from regionals go on to sectionals, and then the top 4 individuals that are not on one of those teams.
Okay.
So hopefully by that point in the year, we're going to be competitive as a team, and we're going to have girls that are, we're going to have enough girls playing at the varsity level to compete as a team. But if we can't move on as a team, then hopefully we can move on some girls as individuals.
Right. At least they still get a chance. They still get a chance even if they're not on the team.
Absolutely. I think, and I guess I shouldn't say this because I don't know too much about wrestling, but I think it's a lot like wrestling.
Yeah.
The fact that you send on a team, and then the individual points count as well.
Yeah. And then I know you also have a home meet that's coming up on Friday, September 8th, and that is at Forest Hills. So if you want to get out and see some golf, you can on that day on Friday, September 8th. So we'll have a lot to cover coming up in the next couple of weeks. We'll get together again probably in about a month and talk over things. But Coach Laxton, thank you so much for joining me. Do really appreciate your time, and good luck to you and the girls moving forward for the golf season.
Oh gosh, thank you. And thank you for everything you do again.
You bet. That's Bennett Laxton. We do have another coach coming up tonight too. Coach Olson says he'll be available too. So we're hoping to have an interview with him. And as I did mention, Onalaska and Central is our volleyball, and that's coming up. Well, play-by-play of that varsity game that's slated for 7 o'clock. That is tomorrow night on Tuesday. For Coach Laxton, I'm Joel McCall. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel.